Hi, welcome to the Modern Renaissance Man Show. I'm Ben Cope from the Modern Renaissance Man. Glad you could join us on whatever channel we happen to be on. I doubt we're on paid channel because we're probably still working for pizza tonight. But anyway, glad you're here. Hope you've been enjoying this interesting quarter. One of the things that you can look forward to next quarter is, guess what? We're going to celebrate 2 years. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get the letter off to Bush this year, so I didn't get a letter back. But last year we invited him, and he just couldn't make it. But he was in Charlotte like a few days earlier, and he just couldn't hang around enough. And then supposedly we got a letter from First L, Miss L, that said she wanted to show up. But anyway, that didn't happen either. So we're going to be interesting to see what's coming up in July for the second anniversary show. Make sure you watch it. It'll be on the first Friday of that month, 8:30 on this channel, assuming we're all still here. Anyway, and speaking of things that are coming up, the politicians running for president. Goodness gracious, everybody and their brother is running for president. But I tell you what, now, against all my political views and all my moral views, this is the candidate I'm going to recommend. Hill and Bill in 08. Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. Because let's look at this. This is a lifetime achievement. You will never, probably ever in your life see the president become the first lady. Now I wonder is that, will he wear a blue dress? I know he likes blue dresses. We'll see. On a serious side, I do want to mention something something horrific that's happened not too long before we were taping this show, which is in the 1st of May, and this is airing in June. We had 2 police officers killed in Charlotte on April 1st, a real tragic situation. And I was glad to see there was such a good public turnout to support the families and show that their care and concern for the police officers that were killed. They basically were murdered. Police officers, firemen, medic, support those people. They care a lot about you, or they wouldn't be working for peanuts, basically, to come out here and do their job. The other tragedy that we've had was basically the massacre in Virginia Tech. Remember those families. That's a tough issue for anybody to think their child's safe at school and to have something like that to try to work through for the rest of their life. Which leads me to a little political thing I want to say here. Susan Burgess, one of our city council people, this lady has no clue. When the police officers were killed, Susan Burgess comes out with this statement: "What have we done that caused this man to kill these people?" Well, Susan, this is what I can say. We haven't done anything. We got a lot of problems. And if you're asking that question, you shouldn't be in politics. I mean, come on, wake up, lady. We got kids that are raising in dysfunctional families. We got children being shoved into daycare that basically are having issues. We got kids basically in kindergarten watching movies and stuff on TV. They shouldn't be anywhere near. Susan, wake up. Smell the roses. What we've done is we elect politicians like you that obviously don't have a clue what's going on. Speaking of what's going on, I'm thinking about moving to the South. I was born and raised in Charlotte, and it's an okay place, but I'm thinking about going to a southern city. Charlotte really doesn't strike me as a southern city anymore. And I guess that's sort of a mini soapbox, and with that, I'm going to get on the regular one. I have sort of 2 issues that I want to throw at you tonight. One is a federal issue, one is a local issue. They were both really important to me, and I was like, how can I get them both together? And I was like, well, I'm just going to do it. The first one I've mentioned before, health insurance for U.S. citizens. It's time for our federal government to step in and say, U.S. citizens who can't have health insurance should not be suffering. They should not be worried about getting laid off, which is a regular routine in business these days. They should not worry about getting fired. If you're a U.S. citizen, you should be able to get a reasonable cost, if any cost, health insurance for you and your family. Now, I'm not talking about illegal aliens. I'm not talking about illegal immigrants. I'm not talking about people on visas. If you are a U.S. citizen, and I don't mean illegal immigrants who are having children in this country. The children now, as long as we have the law that says they're a citizen, they're entitled. That doesn't necessarily mean that the parents are. I'm sorry, you work towards U.S. citizenship and you get the same rights. But we need to have a health care system that protects the people of this country. The other thing that I would like to see is I would like to see retired people in the city of Charlotte not worry about losing their houses. You got some people here, they've lived here for 25, 30, 40, 50 years, 60 years, their whole lives. They finally maybe get their house paid off. They try to retire. With the small amount of money they probably lost from getting laid off the last 10 years of their work career, can't afford the taxes on their home. They may have to sell and move out. Move to who knows where. Because they can't afford the taxes, because the taxes are increasing. This is what I want to see City Council do. I want to see City Council say that if you've lived in Charlotte 25, 30, 35 years, and you've retired, and you own your home, you should not have to pay any property tax on that home for the rest of your life. I want to see property tax repealed for retired people who have contributed to this community for 20, 25, 30 more years. If you're, say, an elderly person who moved in a little more recently, maybe you can prorate it until you hear that time. I would like to see, basically, our city council take care of the elderly people and them not worry about losing their homes because of outrageously high taxes. Write your politicians. Tell them, you want to see everybody in the United States who's a citizen having health care. They don't have to worry about losing their job. They're going to be taken care of. You want to see the elderly people in the city of Charlotte who've been living here 20, 30, 40 years not worry about losing their homes because they can't afford the taxes. Otherwise, maybe I'll run for office, and I may not want that, and that's the way I feel. And with that, while I wind down slightly here, we got an old and a new musical guest here. We've got returning back Dorn Snow, and with him is Anna Gallant, and they're going to turn us on some great tunes. I'll be back.
Thanks, Ben. I did this song last time I was on the show, but I feel like I have a way better singer to sing it for y'all this time. It's called Nowhere to Turn To, and
right.
This is an original.
Keep it a secret, thinking no one will know. Just keep the outside looking good, but on the inside lay low. Rid your mind of your conscience, stay clean so no one can tell. So you see with your money, you put your soul out for sale. You put your soul out for sale. Nowhere to turn to now. No one's there to catch you when you're falling to the ground. Nowhere to turn to now. They're just going to kick you, they will kick you when you're down. Nowhere to turn to now. No one's there to catch you when you're falling to the ground. Nowhere to turn to now. They're just going to kick you, they will kick you when you're down. Kick you when you're falling down. Gonna kick you your things back away. Put them under lock and key. The paranoia in your head. Don't expect for it to leave. Can't rid your head of your conscience. Feeling guilty as hell. So you still got some money, but your soul's out for sale. You put your soul out for sale. Nowhere to turn to now. No one's there to catch you when you're falling to the ground. Nowhere to turn to now. They're just going to kick you, they will kick you when you're down. Nowhere to turn to now. No one's there to catch you when you're falling to the ground. Nowhere to turn to now. They're just going to kick you, they will kick you when you're down. Kick you when you're falling down. Going to kick you to the ground. There was a time of innocence and said, once there were children playing within your head. See this child within your head. Put this child back to bed. Seems the child is dead, never to be young again.
All right. Welcome back. Thanks, Anna. Thanks, Dorn. Excellent tunes there. Before I call out guest here, there's a couple things that I wanted to go over. First is I brought back the movie review. Go to your favorite library. Here's one. Can you get a copy on this, Dan? This is one of my favorite Merriment is a Necessity films. Can you zoom in on this, Dan? This is Escape from New York. And I tell you what, if you haven't seen this movie, this is just a Merriment movie with Kurt Russell, and I love Kurt Russell. This is actually a movie that, to me, didn't put me to sleep. I've watched it several times over. Go to the library. They got the best prices in town. Support your local library. Support our, to me, it's one of the neatest things we've got going on. It's one of the few things that's free in this city that is definitely worth taking advantage of. And if you don't like the library, send a letter to George Bush and blame him. We blame him for the weather. We blame him for our children not staying up at night. Well, just blame him because the library doesn't have the movie we want. And if you don't want to send it to George, send me an email, www.mrmtv.org, because we sound like we're a nonprofit, because we are, website. Or you can email me at mrm@together.net. The MRM, you'll see those listed down there at the end of the closing credits. So watch for that. Send me some email. Check out the blog site. It's a weenie website, so you can always put all kinds of stuff into. A couple of little rumors here I wanted to share. Did you know the Levi Museum of the New South may be renamed to the Levi Museum of the New North because we're getting so many residents locally? Not much on that, huh? Okay. Do you know that Charlotte has petitioned to change names to Lower New York? Well, we'll see. They're going on there, Charlie. They're telling you what to do, and they were telling you wrong, but that's okay.
I am from up north. Then.
That's okay, but we're still going to pick at you. I pick at Southerners, too. Let me finish this up. Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyway, for those that Charlie Rumine is my guest. And since you're watching this almost live, Charlie wasn't supposed to come out yet. But they kept waving him on, and he didn't see me trying to hold him back. Anyway, another rumor here for you. York County, South Carolina wants to beat Charlotte by being the new York County, South Carolina, because of all the residents there. Now, here's the best rumor, though, for you, related to Charlotte. Charlotte, because of the growing number of residents who are used to mass transit, particularly from the north, has decided to plan a mass transit system starting with light rail, and they believe they can have it in service by the end of the century. Yay! So we might see, actually, our children might actually see light rail by the year, 2100.
Hey.
I don't think we're going to see it in my lifetime.
I don't know. Budget appears not to be a problem.
It just really seems to be. Oh, here's one for you. We're going to do something different. The green room manager is not doing very well, and she couldn't make it tonight, and the room's still green. Let's just see if we can surprise her here with a live call. This is really good. She does not know this is coming, and see if we can get her. I don't know. Dean, can you pick up the phone here? Is it going to work? Yeah, we hear. She's already gone to bed?
She might be asleep.
I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe she's out and not feeling as bad as you thought.
That's right. She might be partying tonight. Hello?
Hi, you reached the home of Kate.
Oh, no. Well, we tried, so we'll have to tell her. Maybe try back on the next show.
Your call is important to us.
Honey, you shouldn't have gone to bed. You'd be on live TV right now. Oh, well, anyway. That was Jennifer Sanders, my lovely best friend who manages the green room. One of the reasons that in making fun of Northerners, I exclude one particular group, and that's people from Ohio. Charlie's from Ohio, and he fits the Ohio mold of men who can do lots of things. Some of the most creative men, some of my best friends, do some neat things. And I watch you do some neat things. Before we get there, let's talk a little bit about you and the family. You're married to a lovely wife.
Mm-hmm. Andrea, my wife.
From mine. And then you have two lovely daughters who are just over the house.
McKenna is 5, and Ashley is 3.
And Ashley was just really getting off on the cats the other day. So
yeah, she loves animals. Yes, she does.
Charlie is basically an entrepreneur that when he came in, moved into the neighborhood, he had sort of the steady job that wasn't, I don't think, particularly what you wanted to do, but it was an income. Because of how businesses can do, forced a different direction. Mm-hmm. 2 different directions you got going at least.
I do have.
And let's talk about first. Is that okay? One is a not a high velocity sprayer. It's a cleaning type of service.
I have a cleaning business. Yes, we clean. The pressure we use is about what comes out of your shower every morning.
Now you're talking about a leap of faith, and this is the thing. He went out and bought this equipment, got zoned for Mecklenburg County, right?
Correct.
And then. You talk about entrepreneurs who basically do a leap of faith.
Right.
Is to do that, start a whole brand new business.
Right.
Okay, I'm working that.
Mm-hmm.
Then your last employer decided they needed something different.
Right.
Which we won't go into that because usually that's ugly. And it was for me anyway. And then you started up another idea, it's Welcome.
I call it Welcome Home. It's
Welcome Home.
Newcomer greeting service. We're trying to take all these people that are coming from the north and help them to get acquainted to Charlotte and
deal with people like me
and Union County and kind of hook up with local businesses that can help them out. We're not really looking for some of the big box stores. We try and keep it to local business people that want to help them and greet them to the neighborhood and have a chance to earn their business. So.
Now besides the fact of parting with the business, which is there's a common thing we've had with some people who've been on the show,
sure.
Of being an entrepreneur, what were the things that, and you and I sort of talked about this before, that led you to say, I want to do this, and I don't want to do the conventional?
Well, there's a couple things. I mean, touching on your soapbox issue as far as the health insurance, I mean, I was making a little bit more than the median U.S. income, and I couldn't afford health insurance for my family. We made the decision that my wife would stay home with the 2 children. And, we were barely scraping by. I mean, you've seen we don't live extravagantly. We don't even have cable TV. And we couldn't afford the health insurance. And I work 70, 80 hours a week, all the weekends, every holiday but Christmas. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing to my family? Mm-hmm. What am I doing to myself? So when the time came that the club I was working with decided it was time to part ways through some external things that were going on, it was just time to take that full step and take advantage of what's going on here in Charlotte and make it better for my family.
But you had, what I heard from you before, though, is that you had some internal drives.
Sure.
To be independent.
You have to. If you, it gets old for me having a boss and someone telling you what to be doing and when to do it and where to do it. And so for me, that it made the decision easier to say, rather than go out and try and find another job, I believe that I can go out and make it happen for myself and my family. And so that's where that kind of came from. I need a good idea. Okay, I think I've found a good idea. So let's push forward and go with this. And yeah, there's some fear there, but fear is a great motivator. And but if you have a good positive attitude and people can see that and trust that, then you can be successful whatever it is you're doing.
So speaking of that, what do you use as, say, markers of success or satisfaction? Do you feel success or satisfaction? I mean, and not just this, but think back over your past, because I'm just curious to what your response is to.
Sure.
Where do you feel
Sure.
that?
I mean, people measure success in different ways, and when I was single, I would have measured success differently than I do now. But for me, if my wife and kids are cared for and they're happy, and that's just not just with toys and new clothes, but if dad's around and mom's around, and we can pray with them, we can go out on dates together, we can spend quality time.
A date?
Yeah. If we can do those things and we can pay our bills and we can put a little bit aside, to me that's pretty successful. If we can have fun doing some things together and not just going to work and coming home and going to work and coming home.
What is something that so you wished you have done and you hadn't done yet, and that you hope to do?
Well, I'd like to travel more than I have, and we have, especially out of the country. That's not something I've done. My wife and I, we moved 8
You're
times.
Gastonia, that's pretty close.
Yeah, we moved. My wife and I moved 8 times our first 8 years of marriage.
Shelby's another world.
Yeah. And I tell people we don't vacation. We live there, and so I would like to move out. I would like to travel outside of the country and do some of that thing, like in Europe and things like that. So I hope to do that someday.
But the most, I guess, some of the adventures I got in the way was that at 19 I bought a one-way ticket to Hawaii. So I was never truly out of the country other than the airspace over the ocean.
Right.
And then when Jennifer and I got married, we went to St. Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
And but you didn't have to have a passport, back to a birth certificate. And actually coming back in, they didn't even ask for that. He said, "Where are you from?" And as soon as my Southern dialect hit out, it's like, you just don't fake that one too easy.
Right. Well, soon you'll need a passport probably to travel to Virginia.
But now, it's really,
we're getting there.
So it's heading on its way in. One of the things, I guess, and looking at this is, what do you recommend? One of the last things, because I got somebody else I'm going to ring out here, is what do you recommend to somebody who wants to take a leap of faith, wants to start a business, has that fear, and it's not enough of a motivator? What do you suggest to people who's wanting to start something new?
You know what? Take your idea and try and refine what it is and find out specifically what it is. And there are business coaches, there are networking groups out there that you can go and you can visit and you can bounce ideas off, and they can kind of give you feedback. Yes, this is a good idea, or maybe this is saturated. But really the best thing to do, I think, is find a niche that's underserved. You don't have to have a big, wide-ranging scope. If you can find a niche and hit that niche and do it really, really, really well, you can be successful, because there's all kinds of things out there. You don't have to have a brick-and-mortar building and a big, huge expense to be successful.
So just sort of go for it, kind of a
Go
mentality.
for it. Know what you want to do and do it. Absolutely.
Cool. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little spontaneous guest here. If she's ready, I'm going to call her on out here. I don't know if she is or not. Dixie Copeland, who's been on here playing nose flute. She's been on here showing art. I'm embarrassed her with that one. I've had some discussions with her. Come on out, Dixie. Let's see what you got on some of your latest art stuff here.
Hey, Ben.
And Dixie Copeland, what we got here?
We have an ocean
That
and
looks like a rock to me.
meadow.
Well, let's see, can we zoom in on this? On this stand, can you get in? See if I can keep it from swinging. Can anybody zoom? Zoom. Does it
There
work?
we go.
Anyway, there's an ocean on it looks like a piece of slate.
Green slate from
Green
China.
slate from China. Mm-hmm. Everything's from China. Why don't you buy it from we got slate just right around here out here at
It was free.
near Lake Tillery.
It was free.
You got it from China. I would
Free.
shouldn't
And it was
broadcast that.
green.
You're getting free stuff from China.
It was green.
That's beautiful. Lighthouse in the ocean. That's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
And let's see what this one is. This is round slate from around China. From around China. And can we get this one? Thank you, Dix. I
That's the
appreciate you
meadow.
giving me these. These will look good on my wall at home.
That's a meadow.
Thanks for coming in and sharing some art. Are you going to join us again on the next thing? You going to bring us something else to see, or is this all you brought?
No, I have a whole bag full. I thought maybe this was enough.
Oh, this works for tonight, but we're going to have some. Well, you want to bring something out, Kate? Next show, okay. The best girl's got a picture she's going to show, so we'll bring it out for the next show. These are cool, Dixie.
Thank you.
These are really nice, really nice.
You can
And
have them.
oh, that's okay.
But they need to be sprayed so they won't chip.
Okay, well that's good. I think we're coming close up on our time, but I see like a 3 minute, 2 minute, something kind of minute kind of a thing. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to start wrapping up. I'm going to get Dorn and Anna to take us out some closing tunes here. And before we do, let me say as usual, I always want to thank my guests, Charlie.
Thank you.
Romine, who's an entrepreneur, a man from Ohio. You got to stay up with them. They're great people. If you meet somebody from Ohio, they're not like Northerners. They're a unique group. You'll find some of the coolest people from Ohio. Dixie Copeland, thanks for joining us, bringing us your interesting artwork there as usual. The camera operators, without them, this show would not happen. Dano, you're the man, my director. Dean on audio. Unfortunately, Jennifer, who we'll try to call again if we tape another show tonight, which I think we're going to, who is under the weather, and she got green like the green room. Anyway, we look forward to her coming back and joining us. She's my best friend. Thanks for joining us. I'm the Modern Renaissance Man. I'm Ben Copeland, and let's have some neat tunes to go out on.
We'll take you out with a Dixie Chicks song called Godspeed.
Okay.